Hello and welcome everyone into the Psychic Spectacular Taken Over. So it's a Team Rocket takeover combined with the Psychic Spectacular, or rather Psychic Unspectacular as it's become known. First up, a big thanks to Melnick94 on the Patreon squad who's gifted us the premium ticket for this event. So we get another Super Rocket Radar if we want to use it on the new Shadow Legendary that Giovanni's got, which is Shadow Incarnate Tornadus. I've got to be honest, I will definitely be saving that one, but we are going to try and get Tornadus in this video, alongside a bunch of new Shadow Pokemon. So the Team Rocket leaders have switched up once again. It's the quickest turnover for a Rocket Wave we've ever seen. I think it's literally been like a month and a half or something, but shout out to Ditto Base. We actually have the infographic saved here. So Arlo now has Shadow Shiny Wobbuffet. The most important one, Cliff, has Shadow Shiny Larvitar, which I think is a returning one actually. And Sierra has Shadow Shiny Feebas. Two of those three I'm fairly confident are pretty useless, but it does mean we've got new Rocket research to go and claim and complete. So that's the agenda for today. Indeedee is shiny, available in 5km eggs for the event. Give me a Shundo for the Mega Malamar, please. That'd be nice. And let's claim a Spindatas that isn't green. We are hatching some eggs. It's not exclusively 5km event eggs. You can see 2 2s and a 10 are lumped in there as well. We are going to be doing our best to try and get as many hatches as possible. It is half egg distance, which is worth taking advantage of. And also, Lunatone and Solrock are now available kind of everywhere if you haven't got those shinies. Otherwise, it's a blizzard of Psychic type Pokemon. I've seen Beldum dotted around, I've seen Galarian Slowpoke, we've seen the likes of LGM and everything like that. So do we have... Oh, we have a Cliff. Team Rocket takeover, we've got loads of grunts around, so let's actually get our first Team Rocket battle done. And I'm thinking that leader lineup should really work, to be honest. Let me know what you're chasing. Let me know if you're excited for this event. Hopefully, it's going to be a good one. It runs until the end of the week, of course. And on Saturday and Sunday, we have Shadow Shiny Groudon Raid Weekend, which I honestly cannot wait for. That is a freaking chase. Hopefully, it doesn't take 55 raids like it did with the Kyogre a couple of weekends ago. And don't worry, folks, the 24-hour challenge is currently still in the editing process right now. I'm hoping we can get things ready for tomorrow evening, so come back to the channel definitely tomorrow. So there are the shields burned. Also, it may be a very nice sunny day here, but it is very much autumn now, and it means a depressing change. I finally had to put jeans on for the first time in like 4 months. Winter is coming. And the final mon is gonna be, of course, Tyranitar. Larvitar, to be honest. It's a very usable Shadow Pokemon if you get a good one, and of course, if you can purify for a Mega. If you don't have a Hundo Larvitar, it's well worth it. We didn't get any of the Johto starters. We didn't really push too hard on the Johto starters, I've got to be honest. It's going to be not shiny, unfortunately, and 192. As you can see there, the Hundo CP we need is 234, or weather boosted 386. Wobbuffet is 231, or weather boosted in windy weather, which we have today, 381. And finally, Feebas is either 61 or 102 CP. And let's keep an eye out on those Tornadus CPs, 754 or 1242. We have this one, and it's nearly the worst possible. There is also a collection challenge for the new Rocket Grunt Pokemon. So, worth noting, Dino is only seemingly available in the Dragon type grunts. So it's Dino, Tyrant, and I think Bagon still around maybe. But Quillfish, Baltoy, and Swablu, we're going to try our best to pick those up. But I wasn't a fan of the last time they did a collection challenge for the Shadow Pokemon. I'm still not a fan of it today, to be honest. But let's see what we can get this event. Smash that subscribe button if you haven't done so already, and stick with me, people. We've acquired the all-important pumpkin spice latte from Black Sheep, and we've got timed special research done. Again, thank you very much to Melnick. I'm not quite sure what it gives you other than the Super Rocket Radar, which I don't think has ever been available from purchase before legitimately. There was a time, I think last year or 2023, when a box appeared in the shop that gave you 3 or 4 Super Rocket Radars, and then it didn't have a thumbnail image for the actual item, and then it disappeared after like half an hour. I remember I bought those. That's how, I think it was actually 2024, I was able to get 3 Shadow Kyogres and 2 Shadow Groudons done. So this is the Solosis that just got announced as a community day for October, which I am overly ecstatic about, let's just say that. Triple Catch Dust Com Day coming up, and change to the lure module structure. Let me know what you think of that if you haven't seen it. Basically, the lures for the Com Day for Solosis are no longer going to be 3 hours. They will be 1 hour, but they can run and give you Solosis coming off of them until 9 p.m. So you have to cycle them more often, but they will allow you to play the Com Day well into the evening, which could be a good change. There's no timed background research with this one either, and there's no evolve window that lasts beyond 9 p.m. on the day itself, which I think is a shame, to be honest. But we do have this stuff to claim as well. Some components, which is always welcome, and an encounter for a Wobbuffet, which isn't shiny. If we're going to save that luck, give us the Shadow Shiny, Arlo. You know the drill with the Team Rocket research. We just have to go and find one of each of the leaders, and preferably before 12 o'clock, so we can find Giovanni from the Rocket Balloon. And we are approaching the tail end of the pass for the September. So let's get ourselves a couple of items and a Bombardier check, which isn't shiny, unfortunately, 1018. And finally, a non-shiny potential Dreepy, 319. No idea if that's a hundo or not. And let's complete that premium time research, shall we? Get our pass and things like that, and a Rangaroo. Very nice. We have to purify a bit more. I hate purifying for the Team Rocket events. It seems just such a waste of Stardust. We do have a Rocket Radar, so let's see. There's one leader in Walpole, one in the couple in the shopping centre. I think I've made a bit of an error. So that is a shiny irregular Feebas, not the Shadow from Sierra that might be lurking around somewhere. That's a little bit irritating, I've got to be honest. That was just doing a hatch and egg task, and just completed it, and it happened to be a shiny Feebas. And yes, I know I'm golden rousing it. Don't need Feebas candy, don't need to nanobit. Yay, we have a random shiny for the day. I think it's still a perma boosted one from memory, but it may not be these days. And that is, oh my freaking god. It's a Goku Bad 98. What on earth are you doing? I can't remember if it's 115 for the Hundo or Shundo as well, actually, because I know some Pokemon, Feebas, Magikarp, Chansey, the Research Hundo and 98 are the same CP depending on the values. But I think the Goku Bad is one below it. It might be 117 that you need. But yeah, that completes that. Let's just check this. It's a Galarian Meowth that is very much not of the shiny variety. I'm desperately trying to find this dragon type grunt because, yeah, the dark type stuff's just chock full of Alolan and Rattata. Is this breaking my game now? Game's broken. Flying type, don't want that. Okay, good timing actually. 6 new 5 kilometer event eggs. Don't forget Indeedee is in these, has a shiny potential, and it's chock full with, I think there's only 4 other Pokemon in the pool, or 3 other Pokemon. There's Esper, Chingling, and then there was one other you could get, but as you can see, Chingling's likely to be most common. Oh, there's our Pokédex, people. There's Indeedee in the game. Not a shiny to start things off, which is good. It means we get 2 separate Pokédexes. So let's get that bing bang boom done. There's a second one, fantastic. And, oh, a third one. That's a different variant because it's male and female. So the chance for a hundo is quite good on those. Very nice. It's a really cool Pokemon. I'm not sure if it said it on the article, whether it's going to remain in 5 kilometer event eggs after the event is finished. Hopefully it does, because time locking things into event eggs and then not having them outside of an event is a little bit of a bad idea in my view. Is there going to be a Dragon Grunt anywhere? Please, no. I can't remember if Corefish is pure poison or poison water. Just a little bit windy here. Let's get the second page of the premium research completed with a Drowsy encounter. I've got to be honest, a lot of these shinies I haven't seen in a long time. Oh, Hatenna we have never seen. Got my bag fighting with me, got my Pokemon fighting with me. Bro, stop it! Stupid thing. Okay, this Pokemon is a Goth-Eater. We did need that shiny until, I think, the Go Fests. And it's, jeez, very windy. Let's just get this done and dusted. Galarian Slowpoke, not shiny, unfortunately. And we get to claim a pass and a Super Rocket Radar plus, ooh, a Weirdeer. That is actually quite a nice little thing. Do you know what? I'm going to Silver Pineapple that one for a change. Is it good? Let me know. The rarity of getting anything good from these premium researches is actually off the charts. I mean, seriously. But I really appreciate the gifted ticket and the chance. And hey, that Super Rocket Radar certainly won't be going to waste. We're going to save that because I can imagine that the incarnate form of Thundurus will be next, then Landorus, and then we may get into the Therians. Actually, it's just occurred to me, do you know what having a spare Super Rocket Radar means? You can get yourself the decoy grunts, which have Shadow Shiny potential Bellsprout in them. Usually because I use my Rocket Radar on day 1 of the event, I'm never able to chase those sorts of things. So actually, that's really, really welcome. Thank you again, Melnick. It's awesome. Oh dear God, I've just looked at my eggs. There's too many 2Ks coming through. Not a fan of that. Not a fan. Let's get those eggs incubated before we battle Sierra. Now, she has Feebas. I theoretically should be able to rock and roll with roughly the same team. Lineup I rock and roll with is Lucario, then Katana, which I switch into if it's the water type, like it was for Totodile, and it will be Feebas this time. Then we got Rhyperior in the back there, so let's just rock and roll and see what we do with this. I think Arlo is going to be the most challenging battle because Shadow Wobbuffet, for whatever reason, is ridiculously tanky, and I hate it. Feebas literally got annihilated instantly, then Miss Magius, we just have to slowly work on on burning the shields. You know the drill. One shield down. Katana may be in the bin, but that's absolutely fine. We've got Lucario here to save the day. Come on, finish up the job. Are you like me in the sense that you are a Shadow Legendary collector? I like to get at least one of each, or are you somebody who just prioritizes the ones that are useful and relevant to you? Because I know not everybody takes on the rocket research for, let's say, Incarnate Tornadus. Camera up nearly in the bin. We'll be seeing the mega version of that at the end of the month in Valencia. Looking forward to that. Shadow Shiny check on the Feebas. I know we just literally botched it. It's going to be one check after our Shiny 8 from research. See if it's not purple. It could have been, and it's 50 CP. Ah, gotta love Feebas. Although it does evolve into me. Milotic. Good luck. Let me know if you've got any of the Shadow Shinies on day 1. That's a 2-star. We'll be just hanging on to that. Second cliff battle of the day. Thankfully, found one from a stop. There's a few Sierras around. Not really going to bother with them, gotta be honest. Cliff is the boy we're chasing. Ooh, it's not Shadow Shiny, unfortunately, but 210. It's 236 that we need to see, so this isn't spectacular. You can see that's a 1-star pile of rubbish. And a few checks later, here is an Arlo, so thankfully not too difficult to find all the leaders now. Shadow Wobbuffet. Tanky, irritating, psychic type. We're going to need ourselves a dark or a ghost, preferably, to take it down. That's the team we're going to try and run with. We've got Giratina that we can swap into as Ominous Wind. That's quite a nice spammy move. So fingers crossed this isn't going to be too much of a problem. But I will say, I think this might be the only Arlo I bothered doing. I'm not too much of a Shadow Shiny chaser. At least it helps you burn the shields. So I mean, this is a level 50 Shundo Giratina. Brutal Swing Tyranitar will probably do just as nicely. Ooh, I have a box. I could probably put the camera down. Done. Let's see what the second mon's going to be. It's a Steelix. Oh, great. Oh, of course you get the attack and defense boost just now. As we're about to be KO'd. Pop in the comments below what your team is that you're going to be using for each of the rocket leaders. And Scizor, there we go. So nice and easy, we can just switch into that. I know Ice is not super effective, but thankfully we do have the Fusion Flare that I'm really hoping we can get to before it kills us. And there we go. Toast. If you're a proper shiny collector, Wobbuffet obviously has the male and female variants, so which one are we going to get? Ka-ching. It's not pink and it's the male because it doesn't have the lips. Genuinely, I don't see a purpose for Wobbuffet, but it is a nice shiny. So Shadow Shiny potential is cool. 1-star, gotta love it. We've got each one of the leaders taken down. Now we can collect our second super radar and boom, we just have to find Giovanni. And to be honest, I'm just gonna wait for the balloon. I'm gonna slowly worm my way up the Broadway. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rocket stops. Just the 3 5-kilometer event eggs in this little batch here. So there's an Esper, kind of like another sort of weird cat thing. There's an Indeedee, but it's not shiny. And another Indeedee, but not shiny. Oh wow, a Talonflame. Amazing. Came back through Walpole, and we've actually managed to find 2 Giovanni stops before finding a Dragon Grunt here. So we're going to jump into it and see if it's going to give us the all-important Dino Shadow, because it's a 1 in 3 shot. Of course, there's Tyrant and a Bagon. Okay, we'll still do it. We already have the Shadow Hundo from a Bagon Shadow raid way back in the day. Show me the green Yoshi. Ooh, no it's not. 4 more 5-kilometer event eggs. One's a Chingling. Be nice to pick up some shiny action from the 5Ks, although egg luck can be very thin on the ground. There's an Indeedee. Come on. There's an Esper. Seems to be a good mix and variety of all 4 different Pokemon, to be honest. You can see here I'm in a sandwich of actual Giovanni. We have 58 seconds on the spawn pool left. We freaking found a Dino stop. It just spawned in as I've completed a route and coming back and doing a route to go back exactly the same way I came. Good plan of action right now. So we've got the Dino, that ticks off the collection challenge, that gets the Super Rocket Radar. Then we can take down the Giovanni, and then we can take down the Rocket Balloon for another 12-kilometer event egg, which should mean some things have hatched. It can't be Shadow Shiny, but it could be Weather Boosted Goodness. 351. Honestly, this thing as a shadow looks really cool, and when it becomes a Shadow Shiny, probably in 47 years, it will look excellent. This thing with the comedy move of Brutal Swing will be an insanely heavy DPS Dark type attacker. It's a 1-star piece of trash, but we've got all of the new Shadow Pokemon, people. Yeah, collection challenge completed. So finally, we've made it back to the Giovanni that we've already walked past 4 times. Switching up the lineup because, of course, Tornadus being a pure flying type is weak to Ice, Rock, and Electric. And I think Xurkitree is a nice spammy one with Discharge. So we've got the Lucario in the second slot to switch into. Don't tend to have too much trouble with this dude these days. Not very effective. Let's get rid of 1 shield. Done. And second shield. Done. What's the middle mon gonna be? That's the question. Nidoking? I think think it is. Maybe we can just spam an Aura Sphere and see what happens. I don't particularly want to have to switch into Katana just for one Pokemon. Let's just punch him down slowly. Nidoking in the bin. Very nice. Now here's Tornadus Shadow for the first time ever. Let's switcheroo into the circuitry, and I think he's got quite a powerful fast move. Spam the discharge. It should really keep him at bay. Boom. Easy. I mean... I gotta be honest, Tornadus is probably one of my least favorite Pokemon. Certainly my least favorite legendary. It just looks horrendous and is completely useless in this game, but it's fine, we got it as a shadow. But that is Giovanni in the bin. We won't be battling him for a little bit, but here goes nothing. And it's 1191. What was it, 1236 or something? So I think this is gonna be pretty Let me know if you got your Shadow Tornadus or if you're gonna get it. How good or bad was it? Here it is, and yeah. 2-star. We could TM Frustration off of it, just to showcase that you can do that for the next week. Boom. Gives us a Pokemon encounter for a Hypno. I honestly would rather have taken the Drowsy encounter. At least that could be pink. And we get some Stardust, and we get some TMs. Okay, mixture of 5s and 12s in here, so we got a Volibee. Any shiny, it's an Indeedee. Come on. There's another Indeedee back to back. I forget which version's which. I think those are male. Okay, 3 Indeedee back to back. And a Sandile. Anything shiny of a room. That's excused, it can't be shiny yet, but when it can be, it'll be a golden engine. And this 5k, an Esper. I feel like Esper looks like sort of the offspring of Indeedee, to be honest. Was there anything spectacular in that? No. Okay. Is that... Stop giving me Giovanni, seriously. There's so many Giovanni bosses around. There's one here, one there, one at the end of the park. I want the decoys. Before we continue, a big thanks as always to every single person who's part of the Patreon squad who takes their support up to the maximum, be it on any of the 3 different tiers. Thank you very much for pledging your support through the platform of Patreon to this channel and the content that gets put onto it, because without all of you guys supporting in the way that you do, things wouldn't be possible, like the continuation of going to the live events, the city safaris. Valencia is in literally like less than 2 weeks, cannot wait, and the Go Fest, and of course the crazy event grinds that we go on, so appreciate every single one of you. And we're going to call it right here, but before we do, don't forget you can TM Frustration away during the course of this Team Rocket Takeover event, coupled with the Psychic Unspectacular. The best way to do that if you've got a batch of Shadow Pokemon is to head to your item bag, click the Charge TM, and then search up at Frustration. And what that does is basically brings up all the Pokemon that have the move. You can see most of them for me are recent, apart from maybe that Shadow Shiny we got a couple of weeks ago. And all you need to do is just click and tap the Pokemon. And all it does is just get rid of all of them. You can literally just go spam, 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 blah, 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 like that. And it just literally gets rid of all of them if you really want to. What we did pick up though was this 96 Shadow Tyrant, which is awesome. So we're going to hit the evolve button on that one. No idea if Shadow Tyrantrum is actually a decent Pokemon. I'm going to do some looking on that, but very best of luck on your Shadow Shiny grinds. Definitely chasing that Larvitar, that's for sure. The other two, very much kind of can leave them behind, to be honest, but I think that looks very cool. Shadow T-Rex, very nice indeed. But I will say, if you enjoyed this piece of content, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and stick with me for more, because hopefully tomorrow we'll be putting out the 24-hour challenge for that Psyduck hunt. It was an intense grind, that's for damn sure. And don't forget, you can check out the latest podcast episode from Incensed Podcast with myself, Ian, and Mark. It's available everywhere and over on the YouTube channel, episode 240, and we'll be recording 241 tonight. And you can check out some of the videos available here on the screen to continue the viewing experience from this channel. But I will say, until the next time, hopefully tomorrow with a live premiere of the 24-hour challenge, do take care.